Hello, community. Please let us know if you can hear us. It's Max here, standing in to run the chat for Genesee.
Hey everybody. First question, why am I was sitting here with a dog. That's my dog Mojo. Have no idea what that is. I don't think it came out of my
Air conditioning
dog.
turning off.
But anyway, that's Mojo. He's visiting tonight. And so I thought, hey, why not show the dog? Hey, wrap up time. Another great week. You're going to see an update, probably 2 more hours, that will go through all the user stories, all the big things and small things that we got done this week. For those who've been in our beta, I should say alpha, what you've seen are things like the inventory starting to work. You've seen 2,500 buildings of 48 million blocks running. We did scale that down to 24 million, but 24 million blocks with a draw distance, huge, is still pretty darn impressive. You've been watching Necro stream Building Cube, and obviously that's been going well. He's doing his usual amazing job as a builder. You've seen the improvements we've been making at every level of the game, and you had 2 surprises this week. One, the board game that we've been working on in our not so copious spare time, but more importantly, you saw the new patcher that JB and the Mod Squad have been working on, and we are already incredibly proud of the effort that JB and the Mod Squad made on it. We think it's a great patcher already, and over the next, whether it's 3 months, 6 months launch, you're going to see what we hope will be an industry-leading patcher. In terms of everything else, we're moving forward really on every front. I've been putting a lot of time into crafting. Mark's been putting, time into crafting as well. We're going to probably have a little bit of additional functionality than we originally planned on having when we go into beta 1. It will not be, again, a full working Vox. That's not what I'm talking about.
It's super out of focus, so try moving forward and back to get it to.
Oh, should I keep doing
you
this
up
the whole time? Oh, this is good. Now
Try
we need
just
the
like-
Scooby-Doo thing.
I was gonna say rub just in case someone touched the front of it.
Nope, that fixed it.
Okay, there you
The
go.
hand trick.
Okay.
Is that better, folks?
Yes, no, maybe.
Yep.
That's a woohoo, so.
Okay. So then I'll sit right about here for the next 20 or so minutes. So yeah, just an awful lot has been getting done. Really covering every discipline. Art, programming, design, lore even. Just everything. And so, this is a great wrap-up. We couldn't be happier with where we are right now. I mean, again, things are going great. We're hoping to have an FNF tonight. For those who've seen the announcement, we've had the Alpha and IT guys on Wormling Prep for the last few hours. And, once we get done here, I'm going to talk to the team, see where we're at. But if we're in good shape, we'll move the build over to Wormling and open it up for you guys for another weekend. Just as we've been telling our Alpha and IT guys, we're pushing the envelope with this tech. So expect something to go wrong, but it's worth it. Again, to log into the game and see all those buildings right there in front of you and in the distance, to be able to destroy lots and lots of buildings all at the same time. This isn't about capturing one point of power or blowing up one building. This is about throwing hundreds, in this case over 1,000 buildings in an area and allowing as many people who want to log in to try to destroy them. And given how easy it is to destroy in this version of the game, whether via your swords, whether via spells, that puts a strain on the system. So we can't wait to see what happens. So we hope this weekend we'll get lots of your alpha, beta, 1, and IT folks in and build and destroy. Again, this is all real time. This is a world that is being fleshed out with these buildings for you just to do that. Take plots. That's already in the game. Lose control of plots. Build on plots. Wipe out other people's plots. That's all in. We've left. We put in the inventory system in a way that people can wear armor and use swords that they won't be able to use in the game. So have fun with that. JB had a great shot of putting on a Lucapan helmet, which looked really silly on his character. Now, obviously, in the real game, you won't be able to do it. On the other hand, for now, with the scaling code, we want to see what happens. Same with weapons. You'll be able to pick up in this right now. You can pick up and use any item that you find, and that, it's going to have some interesting results. And that's kind of what we want. Over the weekend, play around with the patcher. Look at how the chat works. Look at how the different functionality of the chat compares to our last, certainly our last patcher. What else? Actually, I think that sums it up quite nicely. And then in the user story update, which we'll get in a couple hours, I'll cover all the other things that I haven't covered now. And there are a lot of things to cover. So that's it for the wrap-up. It really is a short and good and sweet wrap-up. If there are any, I'll take a few minutes of questions, but I want to get back to Necro because he's doing just such an awesome job. Oh, by the way, did you love what happened when Andrew and Necro got together on the stream? Did you see that? Necro asked for something, and Andrew just coded it right there, which was kind of awesome. So yeah, we'll take 10 minutes of questions if there are questions. If not, we'll wrap it up for tonight.
Well, Piranha already asked about live streams next week.
Yeah, we're gonna get that schedule. It should have been put out already. It isn't. It will be done either tonight or over the weekend. But of course, we're going to be streaming a lot next week.
Kaladex wants to know when the last day of winter is.
Well, it depends which calendar you go by. Certainly, there is our definition of winter for our calendar. We'll see. We're hoping the last day of winter is what our calendar thinks the last day of winter is, and hopefully the game will be ready to go then. My guess is, honestly, we're going to need a little more time. We're going to need to the end of the month. That's what we're pushing for. You've seen the progress. The progress is awesome. We are putting in a lot of stuff in a very short period. But we are certainly trying to get everything done before the official end of winter. We're hoping I actually haven't spoken to Ben in the last few hours, but we were looking pretty good to get his 9 classes worth of abilities all into the game at one time. And then after that, well, a lot of balancing and a lot of other things have to be done, logic trees and stuff. But if all the core abilities are in, that's an awfully good start.
Essex is worried that we're going to burn out.
Oh, no. I mean, honestly, this is a short crunch. It is not like some of the crunches I've been in. Certainly, we worked awfully hard on Dark Age, and we had a massive crunch from Warhammer. And that was a bad one. There was a lot of time we spent on that game trying to get it ready for its final release date. In this case, as you guys have watched, have seen, we're only working 12-hour days. We're not working 7 days a week. We take an hour for lunch. We have dinner Sometimes Lady J, twice a week brings dinner, and we take time off for that. So it's not a chain everyone to their desk and don't leave for 18 hours a day. We're not doing that kind of crunch. I have no interest in burning out the team any more than you folks have us in burning out the team.
Green Jericho asks, funniest glitch you've come across so far?
Oh, this was actually a great one. I'll tell this story. So we were having an issue with concurrency, and we couldn't figure out why, when we moved to a larger size server, a larger size instance, the code to load in buildings was actually running slower than when we were working on a smaller instance. It makes no sense. Everything about our game, client, server, all multi-threaded. It's all designed right from the beginning, to use more and more cores. And so, nothing, not sure why. Rob's looking at it. And I was out that day, well, most of that day, with unfortunately, one of my migraines, but it actually worked out really well. And Tyler gave me the update, and then Rob, over the phone gave me the update as well. And it was when oops, am I out of focus again?
The Mojo keeps it keeps focusing on the dog.
And when Rob really looked at it, he found that when we put up the instance by a power of 2, bad things happened. Yeah, crazy, right? Silly. And so he obviously fixed that code. Now that gave me an idea. I know, one of those really strange things. Maybe it was always in there. Maybe that's where I had the headache. But I came up with a really clever way to do something with the gems that will be involved in your Vox. I mean, as you guys see from the concept art, gems play an important part. They are the way you upgrade your Vox, the way you channel its power. And so I was thinking about how to use math in a very simple way to give you folks tons of combinations at the same time, had to have it be sort of self-correcting. So you couldn't create these incredible combinations of gems that we didn't expect. And so that all came from Rob's power of 2 things. So as much as I hate to say it, I'm very, very grateful to him, because that just sent me down a very different path with how I was going to balance out the gems. And a much easier path. Frankly, I sat down and coded it in Excel in about an hour and a half. And so that made me very happy. So, good bug.
All right. Handarand asks, what is that Harry dev working on? Is it a retriever that retrieves the data? Thank you very much.
Well said. Yeah, he's our new junior programmer. We didn't have a stretch goal for him. He just wandered into the office like somebody else we know and smiled at us. And yeah, he's hired. He's going to start coding on Monday.
Well, I'm not seeing a bunch of questions, folks. You've got Mark here for a few more minutes.
And my disappearing phone. There it is.
Oh,
Cthulhu had it.
yeah. That's Cthulhu for anyone who was wondering. Dark Age of Jeff asks, once the ability importer is finished, will we see the classes come in very quickly?
Oh, yes. Given what day it is today, yeah, absolutely.
Logon Moss points out that it's a good thing the Harry dev works for biscuits. Odelvik wants to know, when will we meet the new artist?
When she gets here.
Laudoween asks, will the ability template builder be the same in beta as it is for each archetype?
The basic ability builder will be the same. Sorry, dog again. That's the idea. Yeah, that's why you guys got to see it. Will it be exactly the same for each class versus the archetypes? No, it will be different.
Green Jericho asks, any updates on the mini-map? How much detail will it have?
Right now, what we've said about the mini map or any kind of a map is that we're not giving you a full-fledged map like you might have in some single-player RPGs or even some MMORPGs. I shouldn't have qualified it by size. This was something we talked about during the Kickstarter. Now, the role of scouts, of course, is to help fill out a map and to send back information to your realm. So that's something that will be coming, obviously, later in the course of development.
Dulos OG777 asks, may we get a cryptic movie reference to some new feature coming soon?
Wow. Okay, that's a good one. Now put me on the spot. Give me a minute. I'll see if I can do it before we end the stream.
All right.
That's a nice one, Dulos. Thank you.
Feel free to ask that again when we're toward the end of the stream, Dulos.
And it's hard, by the way, because we don't keep many secrets from you guys. The patcher, the new, patcher was sort of a secret. We talked about it a little bit, but not too much. But I'll think about it.
Lugonmas asks, how much will character creation be expanded or changed in beta?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
How much will character creation be expanded or changed in beta?
Well, it certainly has to change because you have to pick race. You'll be picking classes versus archetypes. In terms of what other things you'll be able to do, at the beginning of beta, very little. As we move through beta, a lot more. While we don't want and we can't have this game have the same sorts of options that many MMOs have, you'll still have a lot of character customization, physical customization, and not just statistical.
Odelvik asks, and this is an easy one, will we be building structures in beta or defending pre-built structures?
Well, you're certainly going to be doing the building part, and we'd like you to be defending also some pre-built ones as well.
So both.
Yes. Well, one's definite, which is the building. In terms of defending pre-built ones, depends how many points of power we have.
Aha. Dark Age of Jeff asks, are the progression systems in place? Is it individual skill, component progression, or will stats increase over time as well?
No, the classes aren't in yet, so the progression system can't, well, I guess it could be in, but it isn't in yet. That's going in. The full progression system is going to be going in over time. Obviously, it is something that is very detailed. It is not as simple as usage. Your realm's progression, your realm's success, and a given night, as you know, factored into the progression system. So the full, even if we had all the classes in today, the full progression system wouldn't be in today.
You guys have any other questions?
Okay, in terms of Duos' question, all right, this is kind of lame, but didn't have much time. And frankly, again, not keeping any secrets. But when I look at the Vox, I kind of sometimes look at it romantically.
James Goblin asks, does CU plan on hiring new artists soon, be it interns or full-time? When will outsourcing for emote / item SGs start?
Oh, absolutely. We are definitely going to be outsourcing. One way or the other, we were outsourcing. As you folks know, we've been talking about that. And as soon as, I'd like to say as soon as possible.
I don't know. What's up with this thing
Yeah,
today?
the dog wasn't here.
Yeah.
Not that time.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
People aren't asking too many questions.
All right, then let's wrap this up so I can get back, to working on, actually starting on the update. I have not actually written a single line yet. Just want to say, look, everything has been great. It's been a wonderful week. We've gotten an awful lot done. Yeah, had some nice ups and downs, as you might expect anytime you're pushing tech like we are. And those are good things. We certainly discovered issues early, which is great. It's one of the reasons why people like Rob and Andrew and all the programmers, get to push things. And it's not about putting out, especially for you folks on Hatchery, it's not about putting out a safe and stable build. It's about trying things. It's about, upping the numbers to ridiculous amounts and seeing what happens, whether it was with our bot testing or whether it's with now building testing. It's all about stressing the system now rather than later. And for you alpha guys and your IT guys, you get to see all the fun and frolic. You get to see, as I said, come on up for the closing mojo. There we go. He's lavish, and by the way, if anyone's asking, he's lavish. He was a rescue dog, and all we know, he's sort of a lab who hates the water. Big webbed feet, hates the water. Not true to his breed at all. But it's all about doing those things. It's really all about trying the things that are harder now rather than trying the things that are easier. It would be very easy for us to, again, build another area, just like we built early on for testing, and throw a few, a couple castles at it and go, okay, that's testing. That's easy. We could do that. Well, we're doing it today, frankly, with our mages, who have the equivalent, as you folks know, of siege magic. So we could do that. That's easy. That's not a meaningful test for us. We know that's going to work. We want to throw a lot of buildings at it. When we get a little bit of time, we're going to train the bots to do that, and talk about stressing the system then. We want to have sieges, not just with you folks in it, but we want to have sieges happening all over the map with the bots running the sieges and hurling those same kind of spells and using the siege equipment to beat on the building system and the stability system. And that's what we're about. And that you've seen over the last week has resulted in sometimes, it's working great, and other times, we have to hold off the test. But that's what, again, that's the way we're going to do things, because what counts is not what works today, and it's not what counts what is working next week. What counts is what's working when we launch. And by beating on it now, by trying the more difficult things now, we come closer to ensuring that when this game launches, it's going to launch as something not only we can be proud of artistically, but technically as well. So look, I want to get back to Necro because he's just doing an absolutely kick-butt job. I want to wish you all a good weekend. I hope you have fun. I hope you relax. We'll be here for a few hours more, and as well sometimes on the weekend. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a surprise live stream over the weekend. No promises, but you never know. So again, that's it. As always, folks, we thank you for your support, and most likely we'll see you, before next week.
One last question from Odilvik. Will you please pass along our thanks to the team?
Oh, of course. Hey guys, Odilvik says thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Passed on. See how easy? And look, in all seriousness, we know people like you and the vast majority of our backers thank us for our efforts, just as much as we thank you for not only the support during the Kickstarter, but beyond. And as I always say, it's not about, hey, putting up more things for you to buy. It's about the support we get from you folks on the forums, in different areas around the internet, messages, occasional pizza, crazy, awesomely crazy gifts. It's all good, and it all means an awful lot to us. Even if some of you don't think it does, it really does. Getting thank you cards, getting even again, it doesn't have to involve money, just good thoughts and well wishes here and every and in other places means an awful lot to us as a team and to me on a very, very personal level. And as always, we thank you for that. So have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of what remains of the 24-hour streaming from the master, of our building, master cubist right now, though we need a better name than that, Necro, and enjoy your weekend, folks.
All right, folks, we're going to start hosting Necro again to continue his 24-hour thing in just a minute. So thank you very much.